What is up, guys? Here, gaming news, and so today I decided to do a gaming dumbass myself thinking about gaming. I'm sorry, guys. I've just been having a really hard day, so I want to do a reaction video over, I don't know, I guess Ouija board and stuff. So here, as you can see, we have the YouTuber Chills. So let's get to the reaction, and I haven't seen nothing like any of it. So let's get to it.
Digital version would work just as well. This is what happened to an 18-year-old girl from Lima, Peru when she used a Ouija board app on her smartphone. After using the app with her friends to ask just a few questions, Patricia Quispe somehow managed to summon a spirit that apparently followed her home. Soon after playing with the board, her parents noticed that she started to throw violent tantrums and foam at the mouth.
Según testigos, ella presentó una aparente posesión satánica luego de jugar a la Ouija.
Her voice changed too. It became strained and evil as she thrashed about in her restraints. The poor girl often shouted the same phrases over and over again. She would repeat the number 6 3 times in a row, and she would also tell doctors to give her back her phone, presumably so that she could get back on the Ouija app and cause further damage. She was taken to a psychiatric ward to be further examined. Whether she regained her senses or remains internally possessed is the mystery. Number 9. The Summoning. 4 girls are about to witness the power of the Ouija.
Holy shit! Dang.
Just as they are receiving
You're going to see this one.
Final question, and they are now ready to end the session. They start to move the cup in a circle 3 times to clear the board, but whatever they have summoned is not exactly ready to leave quite yet.
Okay. Bathard, oh my god! Bathard! Bathard! What's wrong? Get rid of it! Bathard! 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 Are you okay?
Just before the girls can cast the spirit back into its own dimension, it desperately leaps inside one of them and takes control. Then the possession ends as quickly as it began. They all rush in, and one of the girls cradles her friends in her arms as she cries and trembles. They ask if she needs any water. Even though I'm not sure exactly what happened, I think it's safe to say that a glass of water probably isn't going to be enough to help her. Number 8. Stuffed Stare. As this footage from Mexico shows, humans are far from the only things that can potentially become possessed by summoned spirits. In this video, 3 friends are just hanging out together in a cramped room, trying to use a Ouija board to summon whatever spirits they can find. Suddenly, it looks like they attract some supernatural attention. You can't hear any sound, but you can tell things are starting to get interesting by the way they all lean forward and wait for the next answer. The room appears to grow very hot for a moment, and the man in the center rubs some sweat from his brow. As he does this, a white stuffed bear above him springs to life. It appears to look down at the 3 of them, and it especially seems to regard the person on the left the most. The man on the left eventually looks up, and the 2 lock eyes. He immediately starts to point out the possessed bear to his friends, but when his friends look up to see what he's talking about, the bear stops moving. It looks like they get in a small argument for a moment as the man tries to convince his friends that he isn't making up a story and that he really did see the bear move. One of them picks up the bear and examines it. It doesn't do anything, so they all sit down with the Ouija board and start over again. When they start to ask another question with the Ouija board, the stuffed toy begins to look around some more. This time it makes no attempt to hide itself as they all turn around and watch in horror. They all jump up from their seats and run out of the room, so terrified that none of them even think to take the camera with them. If you're enjoying the video so far, please give it a like as it really helps me out.
I don't know what to say about that.
Possessions. You don't need to buy an official Ouija board if you want to contact the dead. G-Money Gaming and his friend decided to do it themselves using a Ouija board that they made with a piece of paper and a plastic pointer. Little did they know how effective their design would turn out to be. G-Money begins asking if there are any spirits in the room with them, and he immediately gets a positive response. When he asks how many spirits there are, the answer is 2. By this point, G-Money and his friend are sufficiently scared. but they decide to keep going anyway. G-Money bravely asks the spirits what their names are, and he gets a dreadful response: Zozo and Mama. These two spirits are famous for haunting Ouija board users throughout the world, and they are even rumored to possibly be demons with strong ties to Satan.
Zozo. Zozo.
Oh my god, dude. What the heck was that? You need to eat session.
The Ouija board starts to spell Zozo over and over again in rapid succession, and then something is knocked over from deeper within the house. The two friends know that they have to end the session
Holy
fast before
crap.
anything bad can happen, so G-Money quickly moves the pointer over to goodbye. Just when this happens, the pointer slides away as if something had grabbed it. As they back out of the room, the entire board flies at them, and they launch into a full sprint. Number 6, Lisa. A man and a woman manage to successfully summon a female spirit while a third person films. Lisa, the spirit spells Lisa.
I did not push that.
Seriously, none of you guys push that over to the X like that?
Holy cow.
You guys doing something underneath the table?
No.
That looked like it moved all on its own.
After this, the pointer dashes to the letter X on its own. Neither one of them appear to have pushed the pointer to the letter X. It seems to have moved there completely on its own. The cameraman checks on the table for magnets, but he doesn't find any, and there doesn't look to be any strings. There's a quick cut in the video, so unfortunately we can't exactly hear the next question that they asked. Either way, the pointer circles a bit and lands on yes, and then it darts on its own back to the mysterious letter X for a second time. If this video is to be believed, then why did the spirit repeatedly choose the letter X? Perhaps it could have meant that it was an ex-lover, or on the other hand, the letter X could even represent her death. Exactly what Lisa wanted will never be known. They understandably backed away from the board after the second time that the pointer moved on its own. However, it doesn't look like they properly ended the ceremony, so perhaps Lisa will be back for a second visit after all. Number 5.
I'm very curious,
Number 5, Contact. Peru continues to experience a high concentration of Ouija board possessions, this time in the city of Jaén. Blanca Giovanna is only 16 years old when she and her other friends began to use the board for fun. Like so many others, she is not aware of the board's true danger, and she is swallowed by evil for her ignorance. It's unclear how many times Blanca and her friends used the board to summon demons before she was finally overtaken by one. Maybe she became possessed after using the board just once. Or perhaps it took days of repeated attempts before a demon found its way from the board into her soul.
I'm very curious to see what happens here.
Exactly how the demon got her is unknown, but in other Ouija board possession cases, it's usually either from the spirit or failing to banish them back to their realm at the end of the ceremony. What we do know is that this began a minor possession which soon grew out of control. Blanca went from being a carefree teenager to a violent maniac in just a matter of days. Her behavior became so aggressive that her family eventually could no longer deal with her. They had her committed for a lack of a better idea. While in her possessed form, Blanca continued to amaze and scare psychiatric workers to no end. Her evil antics even began to draw a crowd of curious locals and news reporters, who all agreed that she had seen the face of Satan. When she wasn't trying to attack them outright, she was shouting mysterious satanic phrases and wailing terribly. Like her family, the psychiatric ward eventually ran out of ideas and settled on chaining her to the wall to protect her from others. The demon stayed inside her body for at least 21 days. This was in 2011, and while locals may not know what has happened, no follow-up reports have ever left the city. This lack of information has led many to speculate that perhaps Blanca had to either been exiled or even killed so that the rest of the town could be saved. Number 4, Josh says, this footage comes from a YouTuber named No Biggie TV. who decided to tempt fate and
This is gonna go in the wrong.
Ouija boards. He is extremely skeptical at first, and he points out that Ouija boards can't be that scary if they are allowed to sell at Toys R Us. While he is waiting in line to buy it, however, a woman asks if he knows where the idea from Ouija boards came from. She says that the man who invented it sold his soul to the devil, and that making it readily available to kids was part of an evil conspiracy. No Biggie TV ignores her warning and buys the board anyway. He picks up a friend named Dave and heads to Dave's apartment. After briefly reading some instructions, they are quickly communicating with the dead in no time. They contact a spirit who says his name is Josh. He was born in 1921. Things are getting a little too scary, so No Biggie TV pulls a prank on his friend by pretending to be possessed, and then the two get back to being serious. As the ceremony progresses, they start to hear breathing and other
Guys, never take your hands off the little eyeglass thing.
The thumping? No, I hear some kind of breathing. That is so fucking spooky. What the fuck?
Josh tells him that the house is not safe after using the Ouija board, but there is one thing that they can do to possibly change that. Burn me, Josh writes to them. Obviously, no one wants to have a haunted house, so the two friends waste little time doing exactly what Josh asks. They take the board around back and set the entire thing on fire, box and all. As the box burns, Dave's car starts to turn on randomly on its own. Even after they put the fire out, they could still hear the board sizzle. It gave No Biggie TV an electrical shock when he touched it. Unfortunately, they couldn't burn the board properly, so they decided to drive as far as possible and throw it away instead. Although they did say goodbye to the board, nowhere in the video does it show them properly ending the session. Just how angry Josh will be that they didn't follow his exact orders remains to be seen. Number 3, the pizza possession. Jackson Combs and his friend Stacy.
The what? I didn't get that. Hopefully y'all do.
Some spirits to help pass the time. They are joined by a third friend, Alice, who brings with her the top of a pizza box. Together they use it to make a homemade Ouija board. It's well past 1 in the morning by the time the three of them agree on a place to use it. They use a small cap as a pointer and spin it in 3 circles to clear the board. Then they begin. Is anybody there? Jason asks. The pointer does not move, so he repeats himself. That's when the cup moves down and to the left, stopping on yes. Jason asks what the spirit's name is, and the ghost writes back Susan. When asked if the spirit is good or bad, Susan says that she is good. Then she says that she wants someone named Danny. None of them know who Danny is, so Susan says goodbye. The 3 friends could have stopped here, but they enjoyed the experience, so they decided to keep it up and try to contact other spirits. Again, they make 3 circles with the cup to clear the board. Another spirit soon makes itself known, but this time it isn't as nice as Susan. Instead of asking what the spirit's name is, Jason asks if it's a good spirit. It signals that no, it is not. They could have immediately discontinued contact from there, but they weren't feeling threatened enough at the time. Jason asks for its name.
I'm scared as fuck right now.
What do you want? Jason asks out loud. Kill is the response that he is given. Even though no other questions are asked, the cup suddenly moves to the no answer and flips over. The 3 of them hear a noise coming from the bathroom, and Jason goes inside to investigate.
Oh hell no.
The door shuts behind him and the house fills with his screams. When the girls are able to get the door open, he is cowering in the corner. Whatever had been summoned had viciously attacked him. Number 2, Japanese TV.
Hell no.
Playing with a Ouija board.
I'll be scared as hell.
Some sort of Japanese television show.
I'm sorry guys again. Not having my camera on, it wasn't working, so my apologies.
Seems to come from Japanese game shows or investigation series. The girls have apparently been threatened by the spirit to not film this encounter, but is clearly not their decision. The board or spirit threatens to curse
I'm just like giving the goosebumps right now.
It doesn't take long for all hell to break loose after this. One of the girls claims to see a woman and the group jumps, leaving 2 of the 3 young girls on the floor. In their panic, the quarter they were using as the planchette begins to move swiftly on its own. Furniture in the room begins to fly around as if being thrown, and a strange loud clicking can be heard. footage becomes more and more chaotic before the video ends, leaving the viewer with concern and a desire for more insight. Before we get to number 1, if you've ever been curious as to what I look like in
Nigga's
real life,
funny.
follow me on Instagram.
Funny as hell. Actually, guys, go ahead and try to follow him on Instagram and Twitter. So go on there, add him. Feel free.
If you followed me,
I guess promoting him. Just go, guys.
So
So I won't get a copyright.
mass possession. The Elsa Perea Flores High School in Peru is said to be incredibly haunted. According to local rumors, the school was built on a gravesite that the mafia used to bury corpses. In May of 2016, a group of school children used a Ouija board to summon the spirit of one of the dead victims, and this footage showed it absolutely worked. Shortly after using the Ouija board, at least 20 students were all affected by a mass hallucination. The children fell to the ground and went into seizures as they vomited.
Wow. Seizures. I like her bun. Is that a good compliment?
They were uncontrollable and had to be loaded into trucks and driven to the hospital for examinations. In the weeks that followed, almost 100 other students fell victim to the same mysterious condition. They would be acting normally one moment, and then on the ground having a full-blown seizure the next. It was always on school property. In fact, it wouldn't be uncommon for students from different classes to pass out at the exact same time. Many of the students complained about the same evil spirit attacking them, a man dressed in all black with a big bushy beard. He always wanted to hurt them, they said. It also wasn't uncommon for the children to hear voices and feel relentlessly stalked, like someone was gonna come up from behind and snatch them at any moment. One of the students even claimed to have felt a large pair of hands tighten around her neck. You would think that they could somehow fight back, but high school ends earlier in Peru than most other countries. As such, these were all children between the ages of 11 and 14. They were all completely helpless and unable to defend themselves. The school officials eventually sought the help of Catholic priests to perform exorcisms. Unfortunately, none of this seems to have helped very much. According to the latest reports, whatever was unleashed by the Ouija board continues to haunt the poor school kids to this day.
That's haunting, guys. Let's see what we can watch next. I don't know why, I just want to watch one more.
Ouija boards have long remained one of the most controversial children's toys in existence, with thousands of concerned parents banning them from the home and even calling for their removal from stores. Yet, the strange and mysterious spirit board continues to be sold, captivating the minds
of hell no. I'll smack the shit out of her, make her come back.
their souls. Number 11. Zozo's at the Door. A YouTuber named G Fuel Review and two of his friends are using a Ouija board when they suddenly hear a strange noise.
What?
Dang.
And then, a short while later, this happens.
Oh my god. Guys, this is real. I thought it was.
No.
The three of them rip open the door to the bathroom and find no one inside. When they turn around, they see the pointer neatly centered on the Ouija board, despite the fact that it was clearly knocked off the board when they were getting up.
Sure, nobody's there.
Get this off. Get it off.
Oh yeah, we can't leave that one. Alright, just to prove to you guys.
Something people never do is say goodbye. They never do.
They sit down and begin playing again. Soon, the spirit reveals itself to be Zozo. It starts to spell out 666 and the camera runs out of battery. They get a new camera and one of them finds fresh scratch marks on their back.
Picture right now.
Is this already?
Forget the video, take a picture right now.
Yeah, that was already
Like,
there.
that's fresh.
Are you kidding
Take a
me?
picture right now.
Many people have pointed out that this could have gone wrong because they never properly ended the ceremony by pointing over goodbye. Number 10.
Same guys.
Did that. A group of girls are recording their Ouija experience in hopes of catching something interesting, but it doesn't seem to be going very well.
This is ridiculous. I'm so done.
Yeah, my arm hurts.
Guys. There's no point. Nothing's gonna happen.
Just when they are about to give up, however, something on the other side apparently takes notice.
Bunch of fake stuff.
They begin to argue and blame each other for moving the pointer. Then they become freaked out when they realize that this is no joke. The bravest one in the group asks the spirit for its name.
I told you, Jay. I told you it wasn't me.
Oh.
John, it replies. He is 36 years old. They ask John how he lost his life. G-U-N, John spells. He also reveals that it happened in his home. One of the friends becomes certain that this is a joke, and she comes up with a plan to prove it.
Say something then.
Say. Boo. Typical girls. Boo. Holy crap.
Something crashes behind them as John sarcastically spells out B-O-O. Then, when one of the girls says he can't hurt them, he launches the pointer straight into her foot and the video ends. Number 9.
Dang.
Mellow Bird's board. Ouija boards are known to cause trouble all of the time, and just having one in your house can cause strange disturbances to happen, as this video demonstrates. A YouTuber named Mellow Bird is recording a video in his kitchen. He leaves the room to do something for just 1 second, and then quickly comes back to grab his camera and go into the living room. He doesn't even make it past the doorway before he sees that his Ouija board is out of its box and doing something that's absolutely crazy. The Ouija board drops
What
so
the
quickly
fuck?
that you might not see it at first. Look closely and you'll see how it starts off mysteriously floating in the middle of the room, almost touching the ceiling, and then it drops straight to the floor. As Mellow Bird is left to ponder the situation, a tiny orb floats down from the doorway. You can see it best when it moves across the black television screen.
What?
Mellow Bird stands around for a bit and then challenges the spirit to do something else to prove their existence, but nothing happens. It appears that he's all alone again, or at least for now. Number 8.
Dang, I'm scared to tell now.
Not alone. This video comes from a YouTuber named Samantha Stone, who claims to have been targeted by strange occurrences after researching conspiracy theories about aliens and ghosts. In this video, she and a friend are experimenting with a Ouija board when suddenly something from another realm apparently starts to experiment with them instead.
Hell no.
They start off by asking some basic questions to the spirit, but soon they have its full attention, and they don't have to touch the pointer at all. Samantha's friend quickly shows that they are not using any strings to make this video.
It's like nothing. Feeling all the way around it.
If this pointer is real, then the ghost seems less interested communicating with them, as opposed to moving the pointer in strange and unpredictable ways. At one point, it looks like the pointer is about to levitate. Still, the spirit doesn't give them much information about who it is or what it wants. Oh, and if you think they are using magnets underneath the board, I thought the same thing at first, but then I realized that the board is on the ground. There's just no way.
Oh yeah. I didn't notice that either.
Noises. A YouTuber named Austin Shippey is using the Ouija board with a friend. They apparently make contact, but it's not necessarily the spirit's answers that make this video haunting, but rather the strange sounds that kept coming from the background. It seems like every time they ask a question, something weird happens in the background. Perhaps the weirdest moment of all comes at the very end of the video, when they are ready to leave.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Goodbye.
There is no reason for the pointer to squeak like that. They are on a smooth surface and are not pushing down hard at all.
Dang.
Number 6. Orbs across Sam. This rare video was taken about a year ago. During the middle of a seance, the group is moving the pointer in a circle to clear the board when suddenly the camera woman asks,
"Can you manifest into an orb near Sam?"
I have no idea what to say.
There is a bit of an accent, but her exact words are, "Can you manifest into an orb near Sam?" Sure enough, a tiny ball of white light darts past the group shortly after. It could be editing, it could be a coincidence, or it could be a very polite and respectful ghost who is doing exactly as they were told. Number 5. The Possession of Carmela. This video does not include a haunted Ouija board per se, but a woman named Carmela as she is being tormented by spirits unleashed from a Ouija board. Now she is being rushed to the hospital as she says strange and evil things, her face twisting as tightly as the muscles will allow. When the emergency medical technicians tell her to wake up, she sits up and an evil spirit appears to speak through her.
Dang it, guys.
Carmela lets her head drop back and begins to thrash back and forth while the spirit that's inside of her continues to say cryptic messages.
My father is coming for her.
The video is believed to come from Spain, but not much else is known. I highly doubt that this has been staged.
He is mine.
Like a real
He is for me.
So she is probably
Dang.
either suffering from a delusion or she really was ravaged by spirits. They say that you can become possessed
She's hot
and
though.
do not properly banish the ghosts at the end of the Ouija board summoning. So maybe that's what happened to poor Carmela. Number 4. The Flying Pointer. This video was recorded more than 5 years ago. It shows the pointer moving around the Ouija board on its own at first, but then it somehow levitates and begins flying away. There's a good chance that this is CGI. At least, that's the only explanation that I can think of besides actual spirits. Number 3.
Dang.
Playground possessions. A girl named Jessie and her friend decide to try and summon spirits at a playground at 3 in the morning. The video starts off very lighthearted as Jessie plays on the monkey bars and her friend makes jokes, but soon things get much more serious. They've just barely started when they hear a strange noise and whip around.
Hell no, I wouldn't do it. I would have quit.
On the playground tubes, but don't see anything. The two friends sit back down and start again. It isn't long before they've made contact.
Is there anyone here that would like to contact us? Are you doing that?
No, are you?
No.
The spirit identifies itself only as D and refuses to say its real name at first, but then says that it is the infamous demon, Mama. Then it says that there are 3 of them, all watching. Now strange noises are happening all around them.
So your name's not Mama?
Oh my god! Didn't you hear that?
No.
I turned down and clicked and heard.
Mama.
Oh my god!
Apparently, their idea of summoning harmless children at a playground is turning out to be more serious than they thought. Mama starts to recite the alphabet backwards and then starts to count down the numbers, which Jessie's friend says is a way for the demon to get out of the board. Before they get a chance to move the pointer over goodbye, Sammy drops to the ground. This is what the camera records.
Oh, holy, shut the f up. Jessie just got possessed.
Are you kidding?
You were laughing like really weird and
Are you serious?
yeah.
Like, I don't even remember, like, playing the Ouija board.
She wakes up with no recollection of what happened. Hopefully, If this video is real, the demon left her alone after that, though we'll never know for sure. It could still be inside of her, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself again. Number 2.
What the hell?
Jake goes to the asylum. This video comes on day 208 of Jake Paul's vlogging marathon. He is going to an abandoned asylum with a Ouija board. He's gone there once before and spoke to a ghost named Eric. This time, they want to go to an area of the asylum that they believe might be holding Eric's files. If there are any files for Eric, then it will help them verify that their last experience was real. While searching for evidence of Eric's existence, they stumble upon an old brick section of the asylum that feels extra foreboding. This must be the area where the most...
Oh, watching this one, I hate it. I hate this video.
Have technical difficulties almost straight away.
Yo, did my light just... My light's flickering, my light's flickering. Stop.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch this, guys. Guys, I hate this one. If you wanna go check it out, there's the video. I'm not gonna finish this. I already got the creeps in me. But if y'all want more of these, please do let me know. Don't forget, guys, to hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel. And guys, again, if you want to see more of these, please do let me know. I will be purchasing a camera soon. Oh, well, a camera for the computer, so I can use it for my computer. And vlogging will be soon, not now, but soon. Once I get around like $400 or $500, I can get my camera, because I'm gonna get like a $300 camera, and so I'm gonna buy like a $200 or $300. Dang! I'm gonna get like a $60 camera for my computer. So guys, remember, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below if you want more of these or any other reaction videos. But my apologies for not having a camera, so you can actually see my facial expression. But I did kind of got spooked for like 3 or 4 times. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and again, guys, hit the like button, subscribe button, and see y'all soon. Well, actually, yeah, see y'all soon. See y'all very, very soon, guys. Again, hit the like button, subscribe, and again, if y'all want more of these videos, comment down below. I really, really want to know if y'all want to see some of these videos or not, so do let me know. Thank you, and have a great